organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
We're getting our hands dirty tonight and trying out our green thumbs as we visit a local farmer getting ready for the Johnson County Farmers Market.
And a student group on campus is taking advantage of the great Iowa spring.
And will these luscious temperatures be here to stay? Stick around for my forecast in the Weather Center coming up.
Football is back. Find out what the team is working on this spring coming up in sports.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Nikki Crossway.
And I'm Keaton Fuller.
Tragedy struck this weekend at a University of Iowa fraternity formal. Deputy Trenton Tubner with the Camden County Sheriff Department confirmed to the Daily Iowan that 2 UI students were injured Saturday night in Missouri. The girls were triaged on the scene and both rushed to the local hospital. Sources who attended the event said that Hannah Van Solen and Mackenzie Wollensen fell from a 2-story balcony. Delta Chi fraternity at the University of Iowa had rented cabins in the Lake of Ozarks area for their formal. Members of Delta Chi were reached out but could decline to comment.
Students at the University of Iowa received their 8th Hawk alert regarding a sexual assault on campus over the weekend. The assault was first reported to officials on April 17th at the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics. According to the news release by the UI police, the assault was perpetuated by an acquaintance.
The UI made the decision to provide designated prayer and meditation spaces to Islamic students a few weeks ago, but not everyone is happy. The Iowa Board of Regents is taking a closer look. It has become a question of separation of church and state after the Freedom from Religion Foundation asked the university last month to close the rooms. Legal staff for the Regents have said the university is not mixing religion in public spaces, but just trying to create equal opportunity.
With the weather warming up, we're entering the planting season this year. UI gardeners are busy digging into the dirt this month, and they've planted 40 different types of plants so far. Daily Iowan TV reporter Daisy Lee takes us into the gardens to see how the UI garden works.
UI Student Garden opens to public today and invites students and local community to participate in gardening workshops and celebrate local foods. Junior student Anna majors in dietetics and is interested in how food is growing on the local level.
I like coming out and seeing all the different areas where they grow things and the little sessions they're doing about how to grow peas and things like that.
The UI Gardeners Club maintain a commercial-sized operation on the 1/3 acre plot on the Hawkeye campus. The garden, formed in the spring of 2009, aims to grow eco-friendly produce without the use of pesticides, herbicides, and artificial fertilizers. When the produce is ready to harvest, it is either donated to the Johnson County Crisis Center or sold to the University of Iowa Housing and Dining.
So the housing and dining, they're gonna next fall have a food truck in which they sell food to various students, and we have already set up some ways in which we're gonna sell our produce to the food truck, and so they can use it in their the different meals that they put in that.
The new produce just started to plant a couple weeks ago, and right now UI Garden has about 40 different types of plants, including beets, lettuce, and strawberries.
This is where the tomato seeds are planted. Tomato is one of the hardest plant to work with, since any cross-pollinate would jeopardize their growth, and it takes a lot of maintenance because of watering and trellising. Once tomato roots begin growing, it needs vertically growth, and that's why it is surrounded by fence and get caged. Daisy Lee, Daily Iowan TV.
Well, Nikki, I think it's safe to say that the colder temperatures are behind us.
That's right, Keen. My seasonal allergies were acting up all of last week. Pollen is in the air. Let's get an update from Bradley Martin, who's standing by in the weather studio.
That is right, guys. And of course, with the good in the spring comes the bad. This week, we're going to see an exponential pollen increase throughout the Iowa City area. But now I'm going to bring you the live look into Iowa City. And of course, with all of the pollen, as you see people enjoying Iowa City behind me, take those preventative measures. Temperature-wise, this week is looking really nice. Initially, highs are going to be in the 70s with a slight dip as the week comes to an end. And as you're looking into the Iowa City pedestrian mall, we can see people taking full advantage of the Sunday evening. But will the warmth continue? To start, let's take a look at Monday morning. Expect a temperature of 66 degrees for your morning commute, and that'll of course raise to a whopping 77. Time to bring out those shorts and sandals. Back down to 66 in the evening. Taking a look into our extended forecast here, let's hope the good weather is there to stay. Tuesday we have a high of 74 and a low of 47. Partly cloudy, so we can't complain there. Wednesday, a bit of a dip down to 55, 47 with your low. We could see some T-storms in the area, about a 90% chance there. On to Thursday, staying consistent with the 50s, 56 high and a 41 low. A bit of rain won't pose a significant threat to the Iowa City area. I think what we have to focus on more is those Wednesday night thunderstorms. On to your weekend, Friday and Saturday, looking beautiful. 65 for your high on Friday. And back down to 59 on Saturday. Really excited for the week to come. I know that the frost on our grass will soon be over. But even though we have nicer weather this week, for those of you gardening, you do have to worry about that frost. The final frost date is set to be May 1st, so wait to plant those more sensitive crops until that date. Moving on, in other weather-related news, plenty of farmers are beginning the spring harvest of their fresh vegetables. You can look at fresh vegetables, crisp lettuce, sweet fruit, and more at the upcoming Iowa City Farmers Market that's set to begin May 4th. This past week, I had the pleasure of going out to a local Iowa City farm and seeing what life looks like for a farmer before the market.
The farmers market. It's sometimes our favorite part of the year. But what are the people working tirelessly to provide produce at an organic rate doing when the farmers market is not in session? Calico Farms, owned by Bonnie Regan, is different than your typical farm. It's on an urban piece of land, and when she's not at the farmers market, she's growing peppers, cabbage, tomatoes, zucchini, asparagus, and more.
I needed an outlet for some of my produce, and the farmers market here in Iowa City is just stellar.
Because the farmers market only runs May through October, it's leaving room for serious profit fluctuations.
Garden share memberships are about half of my profit, and then the farmers market I anticipate will be about half of my profit.
But it's not all about profits and parsley at the Iowa City Urban Farm. When Bonnie's not farming, she enjoys giving back to the community.
Trees at my farm? Yeah, we're rotten until we get down here. Hi. Things working right in here. It shouldn't stink. It should just smell like dirt.
And this one-woman show isn't looking to change much in the near future.
It's all me, and that's part of why I love doing the market, because I work alone. I choose to work alone because I want to stay very small scale.
Reporting from Iowa City.
Coming very soon to Iowa City, commuters may have a new way to get around town. The ordinance amendment approved by the City Council will take effect on April 28th to bring Uber to our city. The company is asking to receive city licensing applications early to be ready for the date. A spokesman for the company said that while no definitive launch date has been set, they're working to recruit drivers to be operating at some point in May.
The fight for more Iowan prescribers continues. Iowa's ranked 47th in the nation for the number of practicing psychiatrists per capita. This shortage has motivated a bill that is currently pending in the Iowa House, in which would allow psychologists to prescribe medications. The bill would require psychologists to undergo additional training and would allow them to prescribe around 100 medications. However, some psychiatrists in the state aren't putting up with opposition, and the bill has yet to pass. Well, it was a beautiful weekend for the Hawkeye spring game. It definitely has me stoked for this fall.
Yeah, I'd say the same, Nikki. Let's toss it over to Katie Reber in the sports, to find out more.
Thanks, Nikki and Keaton. There was quite a bit of Hawkeye sports to catch right here in Iowa City this weekend. We have the latest from the Diamonds, but first we begin with a fan-filled day of football. It was just another team practice for the Iowa football team on Saturday, but this time fans were invited to watch as the Hawks held their annual spring scrimmage inside of Kinnick Stadium. I was there to catch the preseason action and have the latest. After losing 21 seniors on their roster, this year Iowa football is counting on their veteran players to step up and mentor the younger guys in order to move forward this season. Building on their experience and maximizing their efforts, this team is ready to roll forward.
Anytime you have a team where you have a good football team, you lose 21 seniors, certainly there's a lot of work to do, and that's the case for us.
Not only are the coaches teaching, but the veteran players are also stepping up to mentor fresh faces on the team.
I mean, now that I've got a little bit more experience, it's nice to be able to share some knowledge with the younger guys and kind of help pull them along, but a lot of the guys kind of know what's going on. They just ask for little things here and there.
On the defensive side of the ball, Desmond King leads by example, building on a successful season.
I feel like just gotta stay focused and not get complacent with myself and kind of build off of what I started last year.
He's got a good steadiness to him, good instincts, competitive, and we're all counting on him to be a real strong leader for us as well as a good player.
Emerging as a team captain his sophomore season, Josie Jewell also returns as a leader of the linebackers.
Try to point things out for those guys. They're younger. They don't understand the whole defense yet. Either do I. But when they don't understand, they ask questions. And you just try to help them out with the small things, just to be able to get them more focused and more detail-oriented.
And along with the football technique, Jewell also has some important attitude advice.
I mean, you got to be mean to play linebacker. You're going against some guys that are 300 pounds, and then you got to run down some guys that are like 180 and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's just you got to be ready for everything, and you got to harness your energy.
He's an aggressive guy. He's a great leader. He holds everyone else accountable. And he's a good role model for me as well. Josie's played all the linebacker positions, so he has a great understanding for the game that helps me, like, playing well. He's played well before, so, there's some things that your coach can tell you, but a player that's actually been out there playing it, has a better can tell you some other tips that might help you.
Now performing here in Kinnick Stadium in front of over 18,000 fans was a great first experience for some of those younger players to work out their nerves. Of course, they'll get the real deal here in just a few months. Reporting from Kinnick Stadium, I'm Katie Reber, Daily Iowan TV Sports. Now the football team plans to take the next couple of weeks off to focus on academics and will head back to the turf in June. Now moving to the baseball diamond, where the Hawkeye Sluggers played host to Michigan this weekend. Michigan took control of the game early. At the top of the fourth, the 18th ranked Wolverines hit an RBI single, putting them up 4-0. The Hawks rallied together 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th as Eric Skank Joblinski reached home on an error by the Wolverines' second baseman, and Mason McCoy scored for the Hawks. Zach Daniels walked with the bases loaded to bring home Robert Newstrom, putting the Hawks just 1 run behind Michigan, 5-4. But the scoring ended for the Hawks after Michigan put in their reliever to end the inning. The Wolverines hit another RBI in the 7th to put them ahead 6-4. Their momentum continued as they won the series opener 8-4. Now, with a season-high attendance of 2,297 fans, the Hawks look to take Game 2 of the series. Iowa cut Michigan off with a double play ending to top the first inning, but the Wolverines' bats heated up in the 3rd to give them a 4-run lead. The Hawks rallied in the final 4 innings, scoring all of their 9 runs, but it was not enough to keep up with the Wolverines as the Hawks fell 12-9. Now, Iowa did rally back in the final game of the series on Sunday, winning 8-3 over Michigan. Baseball reporter Colin Murphy will have the full recap on Monday night's show. Iowa women's softball was also busy on the diamond, playing host to Penn State for a 3-game series this weekend. The Hawks dropped the first game to Penn State, but fought back in the second game to even the series. But on Sunday, Iowa was not able to keep up with the Lions as they lost the series. Now, Iowa softball returns to action on Wednesday as they begin the Cy-Hawk series in Ames. That's all we have for tonight in the sports studio. Tune in tomorrow night to catch more of the football spring game action and a recap of Sunday's baseball. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks for joining us tonight on Daily Iowan TV. Tomorrow we'll take a look at the events planned for Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
And we'll also meet senior grad students exhibiting their art on campus.
Be sure to check out our website, dailyiowan.com, for all the latest news between now and Sunday. For Daily Iowan TV, I'm Keaton Fuller.
And I'm Nikki Crossway. Stay safe, Iowa City.